Well, hello to my loyal followers. Guess what, tubers? I have 3 subscriptions. They're probably direct family. How are you guys? Here we are at part 12. We are in Bicheno. I first heard about this place from Mum and Dad, actually. This is going back about 20 years ago. They came over here for a holiday and always mentioned how nice this place is. And they weren't wrong. Have a look at, well, so much of Tasmania is like this, these beautiful rock formations and all of that. But one thing that amazes me is, what is this sort of a reddy brown orangey colour? I guess it's a moss or growth or something on the rocks on this side. I didn't notice it on the west, but on the east, yeah, see it all the time. If anyone can let me know what it is, that'd be great. Certainly seems to be plenty of it, and we're heading sort of in a day or two for the Bay of Fires, and that looks like it's completely covered in it. But anyway, yeah, this is some of the rock formations around Bicheno. Quite spectacular, and yeah, have a look at it, see what you reckon. Guys, coming up, you're just about to see the Apsley River waterhole, which is just out of Bicheno, and the water's pretty low. Where I was standing, this would probably normally be up over my head, I suppose, but it runs quite strong, I'm led to believe. But yeah, it's very, very dry around these parts.
Particularly when it is a bit sunny and warm, they do start to quite a bit.
Well, surprise, surprise. More devils. You know how much I love them. This is Nature World, just out of Bicheno, about 7k out of Bicheno, and well worth a look. It's quite a big park. A lot of different animals. They even have an old coal mine. You can't go in it, of course, but you can look around at the old bits of machinery and that. So yeah, there must be quite a bit of coal around Tassie, I'm guessing. But also they've got a few quolls that I'm not really familiar with, but apparently they're very closely related to the devils, and probably have similar habits, I'm gathering. A few emus too. I didn't know there was any emus in Tasmania, and coming up you will see an ostrich. Now I know they're not a native, so how the bloody hell an ostrich got there, or who knows, but someone probably started some bloody ostrich farm somewhere, and it never kicked off, so he's probably a legacy from that. Poor soul, but he looks happy enough doing his ostrich dance and that. Great aviary with lots of different birds and that sort of stuff. But yeah, well worth a look, just out of Bicheno. Well worth a look. Here's a quoll, tubers, and yeah, another unique Australian animal. Actually, I'm showing my age here, but thinking back years and years ago, and there used to be a show on the TV called Alf, and Alf was an alien. And I remember on one of the episodes they said, "What the hell is he? One of those weird animals from Australia?" Well, I suppose that says it all. This bloke thought he was pretty smart hiding up in the tree there, but I sprung him. More beautiful beaches here, tubers. Yeah, I know you've had a gutful of this sort of stuff. Well, that's bad luck. Like I've said before, we are on an island and you are going to get coastal views, and that's all there is to it. Now, I've got some inland stuff coming up. But you've got to admit this is beautiful. The sands are magnificent. Once again, there's no people around whatsoever. And coming up, you're going to see, well, you are at sort of Perrin Dunes, or St Helens Point, or a couple of different names around here, I suppose. But these sand dunes are absolutely unreal. You can't drive up on them. I don't think Zuki would have made it anyway, the poor little darling. But you walk out on it, and it's like a desert, and the sand is like talcum powder. And it flows through your hands. It's dry. It's fine. It's really quite amazing. But yeah, have a look at this stuff. Tubers, coming up in the next couple of scenes is Bay of Fires, and I believe this place got its name from Captain Tobias Furneaux, who we've spoken about before when we were in Adventure Bay on Bruny Island. Yeah, the sands are beautiful and white. The water is crystal clear, and I read that it got its name because Captain Furneaux, when he sailed in here, saw a heap of, well, not a heap, but a few fires along the coast there, and hence the name the Bay of Fires. Obviously, they were from Aboriginal tribes at the time. Yeah, I know, another waterfall, but we are inland and it's not the coast. This is St Columba's Falls, about 30 odd K from St Helens going inland. Beautiful place. The sound, all you can hear is these waterfalls as you're walking around, but once again, the forest is that thick, but beautiful, beautiful tree ferns, and they're metres high, 3, 4, 5, 6 metres high. And you'll see one here, I don't know if it fell over or what, but it's actually sprouted out in two places, and I've never ever seen a tree fern do that. But yeah, it's quite alive, and you have to duck to get under it, and yeah, I've never seen one. And there's lots of tree ferns in the highlands of Victoria and that, but yeah, it's cool. And once again, this rainforest, I guess you'd call it rainforest, is that thick. You just would not want to get lost in here. It's just incredibly dense. It's amazing. Very quick shot coming up, tubers. I think in the next scene, have a look out. Any little bit of life will cling on to these trees and ferns and so on, just to live, and all sorts of little sub trees or sub bushes, I guess you'd call them, grow out of the bigger stuff. It's quite amazing. And so endeth the lesson on part 12, guys. Tomorrow we're going to start heading inland towards a place called Campbelltown. And from there we'll work our way up to Launceston and that sort of thing, and that'll be coming up to Easter, and before you know it, once Easter's done, we'll be having to get on the ferry. So, yeah, it's all going to be happening, guys. Stay tuned. I will see you in part 13.